Okay, hello everyone. This is my commentary on my track day at Bedford Drome on the 2nd of August. So it's a week after my birthday track day at Donington. So we're queuing up. This is the first session I recorded, and it's my second session around the track. I sort of learnt the track a number of ways, basically by going on a YouTube video of a fast group, just POV video like this, but with no edits, so I could basically learn the turning points and things like that. And so hopefully I can give you a little bit of a commentary about what's going through my mind. This is my second session, but really the first one where I felt that there's a few corners I need to try out. And you can see that it's a beautiful day. I've been very lucky this year, 2021. With track days. This is my third track day, but I've never been to this circuit before, so I thought it was going to be quite featureless and boring, and because it's on a an airstrip and things like that, but actually it was quite challenging, and there's some really nice corners you can really get your teeth into, so I actually ended up loving it by the end of the day, even though there's no real undulation changes, up and down and around crested hills and things, but it is really good, and I think it's a good track to really do as a first track day. I think it's perfect, really. There's no crash barriers to bounce off. One point of note was that the intermediates, there was two novice groups and an intermediate stroke advanced group, and every time the intermediates went out, at least in the first 4 sessions of the day up to lunch, there was an ambulance and a crash collection vehicle that was called out. So there's apparently one person who's supposed to be intermediate stroke advanced even crashed on the warm-up sighting laps. So I don't know how you do that, but there you go, someone did. So unfortunately for that poor soul, they probably got a wrecked bike, a massive bill at the end of it, and maybe they hurt themselves. So I've been trying to not be too stupid, but also be relaxed, so as you can see, it's a novice group, so I'm taking the piss and literally just caning past anyone that is even showing any remote signs of tentativeness in any corner. I look at those little pictures by the side. I told the instructor I had a chat with, I said, there's a big bump back there. I don't know whether you saw that, but there's a horrible bump out of that corner, and along this straight there's another bump about here. Yeah, look, do you see it? I had a tank slapper during one of the non-videoed sessions. And that's the first time I've had the handlebars wobble. So I'm on a 1100 2012 Ducati Monster Evo, last of the air cooled, 110 horsepower, because I've had a Rexa remap done on it, but no loud pipes. It passed the noise tests because there's a static noise and a drive-by noise test. There's an instructor on the right there with his yellow jersey on. So basically I'm just trying to not ride too stupid. I did go a little, this is such a slow corner, I did take the piss a little bit there, I think, but there's quite a few people to go past. And there's a big gaggle of them here, as you can see. This guy here, it's all right. It's not quite a safe manoeuvre, really. I went around the outside of him there, so that's okay. So the story of this session is yet to be unfurled to you, or unveiled, I should say. So there's an instructor. Some people were actually paid on the day to have an instructor for every session, I think, and they go out and teach you. And other ones, people, they could pay 25 quid and the instructor would just take you out for one session and give you pointers. But once I'm sort of reasonably advanced or intermediate level, so I'm confident, and the bike is so good. These Avon 3D Ultra tyres are absolutely brilliant. I did drop the PSI on the tyres by about 6 PSI on the rear, put it down to 30, and the front went down to 30 as well. It wasn't super hot, as you can see, the cloud formations. Because you're on an airstrip, you can see the sky looks so huge and it looks amazing. So that was actually, in a way, the bonus for riding around a very flat airfield-based track, is that the sky looks so immense and amazing that it actually adds to the effect. So I know he put his foot out there, but I don't think he was expecting me to go past. I'm not quite sure there, but anyway. So this track has got a number of corners that look the same. So this is leading on to what I call the second longest straight. This is the one that's got a really big bump in a second. So we're going to lead on. Boom! See that bump there? Horrible bump. So this is the one I was trying to get right. There's the orange apex markers. So you should see I went way wider than I should have done there. I completely fouled that up. There's the entrance to the pit lane, but then there's a really nice, as you go past the pits, this is a really nice, sometimes knee down job, you know. Now you hammer down here, now you literally get this almost back on itself hairpin. Hard braking, and then you just got to, I mean, it's a first gear, but I just leave it, you know, on a V-twin, you can just leave it in a nice sort of torquey gear and pull out of it. Now this is a left, right, left. Now the point with this one is that the second, that one there, that corner there, if you don't go slow, you can actually go over it or even get into trouble. Now this here, I didn't notice, but do you see that bike coming up on me? Yeah, he's come from nowhere, hasn't he? So my bike's top speed is about 125 if I can hang on, 128. And at this point, because you're looking forward, I had no idea that I was being stalked and tracked, and someone was basically hunting my scalp. So this is the really slow, run on to the longest straight on any UK circuit apparently. Now look what happens now. Bang, like an absolute rocket. That is a PANAGALI V4. They're absolutely 215 horsepower, 200 and Christ knows what miles an hour. That shocked me. That's the first time I've seen a bike go that fast on a track that I've been on, and that's perfect for that bike. He's like, look at it, he's just disappearing. Now, me being me, I just thought, well, maybe I can, catch him in the twisties. Because some Ducati riders are notoriously known for being like people with big wallets but no skill or ability. But this guy, he's handling those corners, and that speed that he was doing was, I mean, I dread to think, 180, 185 he was doing there? That's crazy. So anyway, he's literally disappeared. I can't even see him on the video now. So I'm like, oh, come on, Mike, let's see if we can get him in the corners, and and then they appear, this elastic effect. I'm like, right, come on, get the apex right. So that was a good apex. I was like, oh, okay, that's good, I'm pleased with that. Okay, so now we've got to hit this apex bang on. We've got to start riding really cleanly to stand any hope of trying to even stay with this fella, because once he gets on those two straights, it's like bye-bye history. Now I can already see that he's been slowed up by some of these back markers up here. I mean, different riders, he's either being safe, or some riders they're not as aggressive as I am with other riders. My cavalier attitude has once been described to me by another rider, in a nice way. But look, I was able to reel him in, and I'm like, oh, hold on a minute. If I can get to him, I need to get to him before he gets to that blooming straight. So I'm really trying to catch him. Oh, look at that. Oh, under braking. I'm like, oh, yeah, I've got a chance here. But then I thought, no, he's just going to cane it away. But this is the really slow left-hander, and it's like, oh, couldn't not take that one. Oh, sorry. Sorry, that was all right. That's a clean pass. Looks all right. I don't know what bike that is, but I think that one starts. But here he goes. The Panagali's winding up, and it's bang. Look at that. That's impressive. You can see why they're winning, super bikes, and why they're classified as a very aggressive animal to actually even ride on the road. I think that something of that power looks, a bit tricky. This guy's doing well, actually. I don't know what, I think he's on an older bike, but he was doing all right through there. But I've got to catch Mr. Panagali. I don't know. I think there's a Fireblade in front of me now. he was doing all right. Oh, but as soon as the brake, that's a good advantage having the brake lights. If you can see someone's brake lights come on, you can then, you know, outbrake them. Looks like the other dude that I passed, he's trying to keep up with me there. That's fair play to him, doing well, you know. When we're a bit right now, this is the second straight. Now I'm focusing on these guys because I think Mr. Panagali is literally, that was all she wrote. I think he's going to disappear now. There's another guy there. Oh no, he's still there. And see, nice clean apex. So it just goes to show you, if you're on a track day, you just relax and oops, yeah, sorry mate. If you just you know, do the apexes, doesn't matter what type of bike you got, within reason, long as there isn't a really long straight like you've got here, then you've got a chance to do something quite fun, you know. Oh bless him, he's on his Fireblade. I think it's a Fireblade. Yeah, he'll get better. He just needs to go on a few more, doesn't he? Get a bit more confidence. But and now it's like the beginning of the end. It's like, I'm like, oh, he's in his rhythm. So he's obviously got a bit of an issue with back markers, but it's a clear track. And that is definitely all she wrote. But that was really good. I really enjoyed that, and it was jaw-dropping to look at the power of that bike. But anyone who wants to go on this track day, it's only 128 quid. It's fantastic. Obviously, if you need good weather for any track day. But even though it looks quite boring, it's actually really fun, and it's got some beautifully fast corners. So yeah, that's that session, and there was a lot of people there. So hopefully I can give you a video at Snetterton in a few weeks' time. Cheers.